What's on the agenda for Tia today?
Just power cleans. Still working up in load and all the progressions and all like movements and mechanics and all that stuff. Right now we're just focusing on the speed of turnover. It's been a hot minute since Tia's really worked on the fast turnover sequence. So the other day when we did floating cleans, you know, we did the we spent time on attention and slowly going down in the correct position, dropping the hip down. The other day we actually just worked off the floor and just did the first phase of the pull, like, you know, clean pulls.
Feeling motivated or what? What's the words?
I definitely, after the games, walked away feeling like I know this is possible. And yeah, I would say I definitely was motivated. Like, you can't walk away watching such incredible athletes at the top of their sport, giving it their absolute best. Isn't motivating? So that was great, but it's just short-term motivation, you know? It comes down to me at the end of the day to make sure that I'm constantly checking in with myself and staying motivated throughout the whole season and throughout the whole off season.
So feet are better, but your catch feet, just try to keep them underneath yourself more.
What are they doing?
Just getting wide too early. In order for it to not be as wide, think about extension rather than dropping underneath. Finish off your extension.
Yeah. That's heavy, Willow.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's case-to-case basis. Some people are getting ready for Rogue, some are getting ready for a NorCal Classic, and some are resting. So it's all dependent on the athlete. Ideally, I'd love for them to stay out of this gym for 4 weeks and just go for a run, leisurely exercise, or jump in a class, Barry's boot camp, do something else, you know.
4 weeks? Seems like a long time, right?
I think right now, with the current format being so, like, the preseason starts in October, November, right? And then before you know it, January, the Open comes around. These guys the season already is 9-10 months. So for us, it's about maximizing rest time. And that's what we're trying to find.
No, I went into the games thinking, oh, I'm going to train through the whole weekend. I'll train early morning, get it done. But Shane had to leave to coach Olivia at like 7 a.m. like every morning for check-in. So, and we're going to bed so late. So the quality of training just wouldn't have been there for sure. And then if I waited to the end of the day after all my commitments and stuff, I was just too drained. And also Willow was just so tired from such a big day. So we just cut training from Wednesday. Wednesday was like my last day of doing anything. And I got back and started, you know, doing, just moving the body. And I'm just like, oh, it feels like I've just been off training for like another year.
People like seeing you with Dave Castro. Are you guys friends?
Oh, yeah, I would say Dave and I are friends. It's really funny because, like, I didn't really know Dave. And it's probably, I'd say maybe like since 2020, I've started to have like more of a relationship with Dave. Just because I think you're just so focused on being an athlete and everything, and then the more years that you're in the community and actually like a part of CrossFit and the evolution of the sport, it's one of those things where like you just start building friendships and relationships and stuff, and then, you know, like over the years I've just learned to really respect Dave and you know what he's done for the sport, and also you know what he continues to do as well. And I think, you know, his intentions are very good. Early on I didn't really pay much attention to it, so now it's one of those things where, you know, if Dave's in Nashville, you know, he'll reach out and, you know, we'll go for dinner or something like that. So it's been really cool to you know, get to know him as well, and I'm really glad that he's back.
On Rich's podcast, he said that Dave had him test heavy DT at 225.
Oh, like back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
Did you? Has he ever reached out?
Nah, Dave and I have never, and I think that this comes for both people, right? Like, I've always kept our relationship professional, where like I don't ever want to know about programming. He's never ever asked me to do any testing, and it's one of those things I'm like, it's like, should I be offended that I've never been asked? But I'm not, because I'm an active competitor, and I never would want anyone thinking that I've known the programming before the competition.
As controversial as the cuts are, I actually don't mind them. I just think just got to make sure that the programming allows for a broader test rather than like deviating or adding things that may be biased towards one particular style athlete. I think that as long as there's like a series, like 4-6 different tests that encompass one bias, gymnastics bias, weightlifting bias, aerobic, traditional CrossFit, maybe even 2 traditional CrossFits. That way we've got a solid foundation to see who can advance forward from there. I do feel for those athletes get cut. It's substantially hard given that you train all year for it. But how I like to reflect that or transfer that over into other sports as well. And I think we love comparing things to the Olympics, and you see that with the 100-meter dash, right? The 100-meter sprint. They'll have quarterfinals, semifinals, and they'll have their finals essentially within the Olympics. So it carries over.
As the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you wanna test to look like you could close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, you is a ghost, you ain't got a soul.
There was a time we never did normal pull-ups, but we do that a lot now.
Normal, like what's normal? Like strict?
Non-chest to bar.
Non-chest to bar.
Yeah, usually like all our workouts had to be like chest to bar or high, like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, it's just more so Tia finding her, like her groove again and where her body's at, and feel the progression of her journey, where she loses weight, she can keep that momentum or understand the new technique. Just for her, just relearning what her body awareness may look like and what a clean rep is, or what a pull-up, kipping pull-up looks like. We do add a lot more strict pull-ups. I want her to have this additional load, like, you know, like the postpartum weight on her, so that as she loses weight, she retains that strength, or that weighted pull-up strength, and hopefully it converts over to her capacity work, which will take place in our next training block in Australia.
That was a lot of conditioning, eh?
Yeah, it was. And can't say I'm had a lot of food today. Oh, such cold, running on empty.
Why not?
I've just been so busy. We left home real early, and it's just been one thing after another. Just trying to get ready for Australia. Whew.
Tia mentioned that she was so busy because you guys are getting ready for Australia. Nobody
Yeah.
knows about that. So
What do you mean nobody knows about that?
I just found out this week. So
Well, that we're going back to Australia.
yeah.
Yeah.
Details.
Yeah, we try to keep it quiet low, only because there's been other priorities, and being the games, being the preparation for the games, and we're just being clouded with like how amazing life is with Willow and our lives. But yeah, we're going home, see the family, do the rounds. Willow will get to meet her family, which would be the first time. So for the last, I don't know, shy of 4 months, Tia and I have just kept Willow to ourselves. So it's finally time for the family to meet their niece and nephew. Is that right? Oh, and grandparents. Used to like all this new verbiage of family.
And you said work out in your home gym?
Yeah, you know what? For the length of time we've had it, which is phenomenal, and Rogue decked us out on a really cool home gym. So if you haven't seen it, there is an episode on that. Yeah, we haven't done much training in it, so we're excited to see that place. Hopefully we'll blow the cobwebs off. Hopefully not literally, but get straight into it as well. So we're excited, and hopefully you'll see some episodes there.
My life.
Ugh.
Slobber. It's the best slobber in the world, Brandon. It's not gross. Willow could over me and I'd love it. Is that making it? Put it in there, put it in there. Alright guys, I've said it time and time again, we're getting back into the gym. Definitely had a lot of stop-starts since having Willow. But hopefully, now the games are done, now that, you know, a lot of things are past us and we're through the thick of it, we are able to finally find a routine and just knuckle down and get back to work.